Hello, my name is Matt Cooksey. I'm the Resident Assistant Director at the Indianapolis Opera, and I'm here for another one of our resident artist interviews. I'm joined today by another singer, so I'm going to ask her to introduce herself and tell you where she's from.
Hi, I'm Lauren Carter, and I'm actually from right here in Indianapolis. I grew up on the northwest side and went to Brownsburg High School.
And we are so happy to have you. After Brownsburg, where did you go to school next?
After high school, I attended Indiana Wesleyan University, and a few years after graduating from there, I decided to pursue my Master of Music degree, which I got from Cleveland Institute of Music in Ohio.
Obviously, you have the academic degrees in singing that I'm sure some people have, but it takes a lot of determination to become a professional singer. What is the reason that motivates you each day to pursue this career?
In college, through experiences that I had, I realized that some combination of performing, being active in music, as well as helping others learn, so being a music educator, was what I wanted to pursue. Music is very artistic, creative, but it's also very academic, so you have that combination of your left side of your brain and your right side of your brain. Mm-hmm. I just eventually realized I couldn't imagine doing something that wasn't with music, and so I just had to kind of get creative and find my own strengths and interests within that and pursue them.
Yeah. You mentioned the fact that you're working as a music educator. Of course, I'll ask you to tell us about your job, but I kind of have a question that you are most likely working with singers, and how is it like working with singers knowing that they're pursuing a lot of the same things that you are? Is there any kind of apprehension about that, or how do you look at guiding their process towards the same things that you're working on?
The first thing that comes to mind is I've learned a lot from my students, both because to be able to teach someone how to do something that's so technical, especially with singing, because unlike playing an instrument, there's not something that's in front of you that you can exactly see, touch, manipulate. It's all within your own body, and a lot of it is invisible from where we stand. Mm-hmm. So you have to really critically think, listen, and by doing that, to help others, I've been able to learn more myself. Mm-hmm. And I've also learned a lot just about the repertoire that's out there. I personally wasn't very interested in musical theater when I was younger, but because most of my students live and breathe that, whether it's even something more pop or Disney, things from current movies, or legit or current musical theater, I've gotten exposed to so much more music, and it's really fun.
Yeah. And again, would you mind sharing with our audience where you are teaching and kind of where they could find you if they were interested?
Sure, absolutely. So I have the great privilege to actually teach at both of the places where I was a student. So I have quite a few students at Brownsburg High School or within the Brownsburg school systems. And then there are other students that have just kind of come about from networking, usually on the west side of Indianapolis. And I also teach part-time as an adjunct professor at Indiana Wesleyan. So it's fun to have the different ages, mostly high schoolers, some college, and I'm starting to have more middle school and even younger children. And occasionally I'll have an adult student, which is really fun as well.
I wanted to ask you about your song, or one of your songs that you've learned for Black History Month. This is, of course, an initiative that we've talked about in all of our videos, but we want to celebrate Black History Month by bringing African American art song into a lot of the concerts that we're performing across the state. So I was hoping that you could talk to me about For You There Is No Song by H. Leslie Adams, and what is just so interesting about this kind of lamenting piece.
You actually suggested the piece to me, which I'm thankful for because I hadn't heard it, and it's beautiful. I was really intrigued just learning about Mr. Adams, the fact that he was originally from Cleveland, so where I went to school, and just here in the Midwest. And he was a music educator as well for a good deal of his career. The poem that he set the song to was actually by Edna St. Vincent Millay, and reading about her, she was known for her writing, but she was actually a musician, a very fine pianist, and continued to be interested in music and used musical forms with a lot of her poetry and her writing. And so it's fun to think about how Mr. Adams might have known things about her as he chose that poem and said it. Going back to your question about the actual content, it is lamenting. You can hear that it's like a very, very poignant and almost tragic piano theme that sets up the song. And the pinnacle of the vocal line is "only the tears remain," after having said there are ink and tears on the page. So I just imagine somehow the person writing this has experienced great loss, and they're reflecting on either were they their tears or their beloved's tears, what they're reading. So it's a song that gives a lot of room for imagination, which is always fun when you're preparing for a recital.
For you there is no song, only the shaking of the voice that meant to sing, the sound of the strong voice breaking.
Lauren, thank you for sharing your singing with us and telling us all about what you do, not only here at Indianapolis Opera, but in our community. Thank you so much for speaking with us. I hope that you have enjoyed getting to meet her, and I just appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you all. I look forward to meeting you and seeing you later in the season. It's been fun.
Goodbye.
Bye.